Okay, we're going to start lying flat on back. Legs long and body flat to the floor. So shoulders, hips, heels, hands. Just having the arms by the side, arms up, or palm down. Eyes closed. Taking some nice deep breaths. Open the eyes. Really deep belly breaths and fill your whole stomach. Expand. And then a deep breath out. Pushing all of the air out. There we go. In through the nose. Really fill your belly. And then out. We'll have one more in through the nose. And nice deep breath out. We're going to take our arms, we're going to reach our fingers out to the side. We're going to reach them up and over, just crossing them over the body. Reaching up and out, and then up and over, crossing them over the body. So alternating which arm comes on top, and then the other one. So you're just going to think about trying to open the shoulder blades as you give yourself a little hug. Good. Placing the hands out by the side. We're just going to lengthen one leg away and then lengthen the other. So think about trying to push one foot away and then pushing the other foot. So really lengthen, trying to stretch the thighs, pushing that hip. And then the other one, lengthen one leg and then the other. Good, taking our arms up overhead. And now we're going to do the same, but we're going to add in the arms. So we're going to reach the same foot as arm away, and then the other side, same foot as arm away. Stretching through the side, body, make yourself as long as possible through one side, and then as long as possible through the other side. We'll have one more on each side. Good. Bring the arms to 90 degrees, the hands in line with elbows, the elbows in line with the shoulders. Just going to bend up our legs, placing the feet flat to the floor, tucking the pelvis, so pinning our lower back down. We're going to keep the arms in that 90 degrees position, and then we're just going to take them up and down. So the hands are coming up, rotating, and then back down. The elbows are staying flat to the floor, just taking the hands as far as they'll go, making sure that the lower back stays pinned. So if you find that as your hands come up, the back starts to arch, don't take it any further. Perfect, let the hands come up, so we're in our 90 degrees position. We're then going to keep the elbows and the hands on the floor if we can, or as close as possible. We're just going to drive the arms overhead, and then we're going to pull back down. So we're trying to keep the elbows and the hands pinned to the floor, reaching overhead, make sure that lower back stays pinned down as well, and then pulling it back. So reaching up and pulling back down. I'll have one more. Okay, you can just place the arms out the side, bending the legs 90 degrees. We're going to drop them to one side and then taking it up and dropping them over to the other. Side to side. Exhaling as you drop the knees down, inhaling as you bring the leg back on. bring the back into the middle, tucking the knees up, hugging the legs, tucking the chin to chin, and just gentle rock. Perfect. Laying the shoulders back down, letting the knees open, flexing the feet, taking the base of the feet. We'll open it out to our happy baby pose. We're keeping both hips flat to the floor, just opening the heels so they're in line with the knees or as close. Think about lengthening from the hips to the top of the head, trying to get the knees as close to the floor as feels comfortable. And then we're just going to take a little rock side to side. Perfect. And then hold it back in the middle. Try to press the knees a little deeper. Open the feet a little wider. Making sure the hips and the shoulders are staying flat to the floor. Good. Bending the knees. Placing the hands to the inside of the thighs. Keep the knees wide. And we're just going to rock it side to side. Knees open. Just rocking side to side. Perfect. So we're going to just roll it over onto our sides. From there, we're going to continue that roll all the way over onto all fours. But we want to keep the forearms on the floor. So our forearms on the floor rather than our hands. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to press up to our dolphin position. So just like we're going to press up. And then we're going to bend the knees back down in our tabletop position, but on our forearms. So we're lifting the hips, pressing up to dolphin, and then we'll bring it back down again. Pressing up. Think about lengthening the hamstrings, lifting the hips, drawing the heels down to the floor, nice and slow, nice and gentle, just lifting up and back down. Keeping the core active. Nice long spine. Elbows are shoulder width apart. Good. This time we're going to up and hold. So lifting the hips up. And then you can just walk the heels one and the other, or you can just hold it. Perfect. Bending both knees, lifting the hips back to heels, and just resting in child's pose. Lifting the forehead onto the floor, or the chin. And again, we're just going to think about our deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just take one more. Good. From our child's pose, we're going to take a spinal rotation. We're going to take one arm, we're going to scoop it underneath. We're going to drop that shoulder down to the floor and rotate, lifting it up to the ceiling. Keeping the hips low, reaching that hand as far away as possible. And nice deep breath. Good. Gently coming up over to the other side. Reaching that arm. Dropping the shoulder down. Lengthening the spine. And nice deep breaths. Just gently coming up, walking the hands out in front, knees underneath hips. We're going to do our side cat, happy cat, but we're going to do it in our puppy pose position. So we're going to drop the ribs down to the floor, and up to the ceiling. So we're tucking the chin as we lift. And we're lifting the chin as we drop. Side cat, happy cat. You can be on your fingers or flat palms. Just moving through the spine, up and down. Perfect. We're going to do that same spinal rotation, but in our puppy pose position. So we're taking one arm, keeping it underneath, dropping that shoulder down to the floor, lifting it up towards the ceiling. Think about trying to keep the hips level, reaching the hands as far away as possible, and lifting up to the ceiling. Gently release. I'm taking it over to the other side, scooping the other arm, dropping that shoulder down, trying to press the arm a little bit further, and keeping the hips level. Perfect. Gently coming up, coming to seated, bringing the feet together, letting the knees drop open, and we're going to forward fold, trying to place the forearms down to the floor, otherwise placing the hands down to the floor. And we're just going to breathe into our butterfly position. Nice deep breaths, letting the knees open. On each exhalation, try and let the body sink a little deeper. You can walk the hands a little further, let the knees drop a little deeper. If you can, try and bring the feet in a little closer to the body. Perfect, coming back up. Then take one hand behind the body, keeping the knees in our butterfly position, placing the opposite hand onto the knee, taking the spinal rotation, top of the head up to the ceiling, lifting back over that shoulder. Take it over to the other side, place the other hand behind the body, placing the hand onto the knee, lengthen from the hips to the top of the head. Rotating, lifting back over that shoulder. Bring it back into the middle. The last one we're going to do is coming onto our feet, so just tucking the feet underneath. Bring the hands, the arms to the inside of the knees into our low squat position. Using the upper arms to press the knees apart. Got our feet about shoulder width, back hip width apart, toes slightly turned out. Trying to lift the hips, lengthen the spine, press the knees, and we're just holding. Nice deep breaths. You can place the hands onto the floor if you need to for support or balance. Otherwise, hands together, closing down the eyes, and just deep breath. Hands to the floor, straightening the legs out, holding onto the elbows, letting the legs lengthen, letting the spine lengthen, letting the head hang heavy down to the floor. Light bending the knees, rolling it all the way up to standing, lower back, mid back, upper back. Head's coming up last. Gently open the body, squeeze the glutes, keep the core tight, lifting it up to the ceiling, opening chest, opening the arms. And the opposite, rounding, pressing the palms away. And well done.